Good morning, beautiful people. It is Thursday, March 11th, and my name is Jen. I'm here with another story time. If you have not, go back and watch my story time on how I ended up driving a stolen car. Y'all seem to enjoy that one. They had a lot to say, and I think it's pretty cool. I have no problem sharing my stupid mistakes made in my dating life in my 20s. Maybe somebody will learn from it. But if you have not, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get into it. This is the story of how I found out I was a side chick. So back in the day, we'll say 2004, 2005, before I was a mom, I was a flyer girl. What's a flyer girl, you ask? Well, before the days of social media, Instagram, X, and so on, there were girls that used to pass out flyers to different nightclubs and venues to try to get the people to come into said event. The more money that the promo company and the venue made, the more money that us girls and sometimes guys made. So I had maybe 2 or 3 girls that I would go promo with. We would dress up really sexy, you know, trying to get people to come into the club. Sometimes the flyers would have our name on it so they could track how many people we brought in. Sometimes they would say free before 12. Sometimes they were like little VIP cards that we could hand out. But anyway, the more money they made, the more money we made. And then we got to party and drink for free. So it was a good time, a good mix of work and play. So it's a Friday night. Like I said, it's maybe 2004, 2005. And I am outside with a couple of my girls and we are doing promo. It is warm outside. I never forget, I had on a short denim pleated skirt and a white collar button-down shirt and heels. And of course, my face was done up. I probably had on a long wig of some sort. I was natural, but I like to wear wigs when I was doing promo. So anyway, we're out there and we are looking cute. So this cream Acura drives up. Now it's not a brand new Acura, maybe a couple years old, but very much a nice model. And behind the wheel is this guy who is fine. He looks like he may be Dominican, and beautiful brown skin, great smile, definitely had a lot of swagger. And as he's pulling by, I decided to walk up to the car and hand him a flyer. Back in the day, this is what we did. This is out in the open, there's tons of people, so it is safe. So I'm handing him, he's like, hey, let me get one of those. So I could walk up to the car, hand him the flyer. We get to talking, he's flirting. He's like, are you going to this party later? I was like, maybe I'll see you in there. Not thinking anything of it. We part ways. Me and my friends get done doing our job and we decide to go into the party. The party is hopping. Our boss says, y'all can come in and party with us. That was kind of like our reward at the end of the night. We got to be in VIP, party, like I said, drink free, eat free, so on and so forth. So we're in there, we're having a good time. And someone kind of pats me on my hip. And I turn, and as I turn around, I'm looking into the eyes of Carlos. And this man had some gorgeous, mesmerizing eyes. They were hazel and they looked like glass. If you've ever seen like the little old school baby dolls with the glass eyes, his eyes looked like that. They were so just clear and pure, and he was gorgeous. Now I had on heels that night. That man was probably a half-inch shorter than me. Usually would have been a turnoff, but with his swagger and his look and that beautiful car, I let that slide. So anyway, a couple of weeks go by, and from time to time we're hanging out. We might go on a date or two. He had a lot of kickbacks at his house. His house was like the hangout house for the early 20s crowd. His mom had left him a house. She had bought a house and moved to another state, and she let him have this house. I think she had retired and moved to Florida. Anyway, she let him have this house, and the mortgage and everything was already paid for. So he got this house and didn't have to pay much on it. It was a really nice house. It was older. It was brick, but you could tell it had at one time been somebody's mom or grandma's house. But it had about 4 or 5 bedrooms, really nice yard, and we used to have the best kickbacks. On the weekends, he would barbecue, cook. People would kind of do potluck. We would indulge in God's natural medicine. If you know, you know. We would have drinks. Sometimes there would be tattoo parties there. There would also be music, dominoes, spades, Uno, you name it, okay? So we had a good time. But it was all love. It was never any fights, no drama. Everybody used to follow through, was just really chill, and we were all in this revolving, I won't say friend group, but group of people who knew each other. If you were in the club scene back then, 9 times out of 10, you may not know me, but you know somebody that knows me. You feel me? It's kind of like 6 degrees of separation. So, all right, so this one particular Saturday, we're over there kind of late. Me and one of my homegirls that did promo. So it's maybe 1 in the morning. I have indulged in God's natural medicine. I have maybe had a drink or two, and I don't need to drive home. So it's still about maybe 10-15 people at the kickback. It's running a little late because nobody has to go to work the next day, and we were partying hard. We had started late and we was gonna finish late. So I tell my homegirl, I'm gonna go like sit down somewhere. So I go find this chair in the front room, and I kind of sit down. I close my eyes, kind of doze off for a minute. And the dude that I was talking to was like, no, don't sit in the chair. Why don't you come lay down in one of the bedrooms? And I kind of side-eye him like, nah. And he's like, no, there's an extra bedroom. Nobody uses it. Everything's clean. You can go in there and lay down. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So I tell my good girlfriend, like, hey, I'm about to go lay down in this bedroom. Come with me, right? Because everybody's cool, but I'm still like keeping my third eye, keeping, head on the swivel at all times. So she and I go back in the bedroom, and we both lay down in the bed, and we both kind of start to doze off. After a while, I feel her moving around the bed, and the dude that she was talking to was like, hey, come in the room with me. And the dude that I was talking to came in the room with me. So we end up just talking. Everything's pretty innocent. He puts on a movie. We end up just talking and just laying there, whatever. We're both extremely tired. It had been a long day of partying. Like I said, we've been drinking, whatever. I'm like, yo, as soon as the sun comes up, I'm going to go home. I just need to chill for a minute. So I start dozing off. And I guess he dozed off as well. And then I felt him get up and go into like the front room. I guess he was like cleaning up or whatever. So I'm dozing off in there by myself with the movie on. All of a sudden, I hear, and I'm like sitting straight up in the bed. And then I hear it again. Without even saying a word or thinking, baby, I'm grabbing keys. I'm putting shoes on. I'm grabbing my purse. I'm looking around like, where is that coming from? How can I get up out of here? How can I dip, right? He comes flying back in the room, and he's like, shh, don't say anything. Don't say anything. So I'm like, what the heck is that? And he's like, kind of got a little situation. And I'm like, excuse me? Before I can say anything else, I hear somebody right by his bedroom window, and they are like, I know you in there. I hear you. Who you got in there? Whose cars is these? All in your driveway. But you had a party. You didn't even invite me. It's like that. So, of course, when you hear a female and she's talking like that, you put 2 and 2 together, and 1 and 1 makes 2. And basically, you and her makes a couple or a situation that I am not privy to. Now, like I said, while me and this dude were not in a relationship and there was nothing like really going on, we basically were just talking and flirting all the time, but nothing had popped off. But I'm still like, yo, what is this? This is a situation that's volatile. I don't want to be here. Fun fact about me, y'all, I don't like to fight at all. I don't like to fight. I don't like to argue. I'm really not someone who starts something. Now, if I had to stand up for myself and finish, that's one thing. But I am not somebody that starts the mess. That just doesn't sit right with my spirit. I really had to be provoked for you to get me at a certain level. And at this moment, I'm just like, I don't want to have to fight nobody, number 1. And 2, my car is in the front, in the driveway. I don't want nobody like, slashing my tires or busting my windows or nothing crazy, right? So I'm like, yo, handle it, because I need to leave. So I'll never forget, back then I had a little flip phone, and I flipped my phone and text my homegirl, and I'm like, yo, I'm in the other room, get over here, we need to get up out of here, put your shoes on, like, be ready to run outside. So she texts me back, and as she's texting me back, they had flipped all the lights off. When all this started going on, the lights, I guess, in the hallway and up front where we had been partying were still on. They had went through and started flipping all the lights off. So the whole house is dark, so this person cannot see it. So she's steadily going around, y'all, to every window and every door in the front and the back of the house, which is wild because on one side of the house, there is a side entrance, but it was blocked by a bush. It was kind of like one of those side entrances that nobody had used in a while. And there was this big like rose bush or something, and you had to walk through it to get to that door. Homegirl did not care, baby. She was climbing through bushes, through shrubs and everything. And she was going and beating on every window and door in that house. And I was scared because I can't look out to size this chick up. I don't know if she got something on her, a baseball bat or something worse, or a pew-pew. Like, I don't know. So, like I said, the girl is still the whole time, I know you're in there. I've been calling you. You didn't answer the phone. Blah, 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 blah. Then she says, and you ain't pay your child support. And I look at old boy and I'm like, raised eyebrows. And he's like, yeah, that's my baby mama. Now, I did know that he had kids. But like I said, we wasn't in it that deep where I needed to know all about your kids. We would talk about things that were kind of personal, but we were still getting to know each other. So I did know that he had 2 children. He had a baby that was about 6 months old. And then he had, I think, a 2-year-old. And they were by 2 different women. Like I said, I was not looking to be in no serious relationship with this dude. He was just somebody that threw kickbacks, and it was somewhere to go, and somebody to party with. And really, to be honest with y'all, me and my homegirl really like riding in his car, and he was always trying to floss. So he was nice enough to come get us, take us to the mall, come get us, take us to these parties. Low-key, we was using him as an Uber, and he didn't know it. I know. I was in my 20s. Don't judge me. We listen and we don't judge. So, after a while, the noise calms down. The house quiets down. He starts speaking out the windows. He's like, yo, her car is gone. I don't see her car. And I'm like, tell me what kind of car she got. Because I'm like, I'm finna dip out and I need to know, like, what I'm walking into. So, he's like, me and my homeboy gonna walk y'all to the car and make sure y'all get out the driveway safely. We ain't gonna let nothing happen to you or your vehicle. Because I was fire hot. I was like, you got me in some foolishness and we ain't even getting down like that. Like, come on, bro. I said, you had me walking in something. He's like, man, I didn't know she was coming over here. He's like, she want to be back with me. I don't want to be with her. I take care of my kids, but like, I don't want to be with her and she's on some hating stuff. These days, you never know if it's the guy, the girl, or both. So, at this point, I just want to leave. I don't even care anymore what the story is. I just want to go. So, he tells me that she has a blue Dodge, we'll just say Stratus, because I can't remember what it was. But I do remember it was a blue Dodge. I will never forget that. Because at the time, I had a little gray Dodge something. Older car. It wasn't a Stratus or a Charger. It was an older car. Me and my homegirl, we are like booking it to the car. I don't even think I had shoes on. I think I had sandals, and I just grabbed my sandals because I was like, I didn't want to trip in case I had to take off running at high speed. So I was in my bare feet. We booked it to the car. My homeboy and the dude that she was talking to, they walk us to the car. We get in the car. We back down the driveway. We are leaving. Baby, please tell me, as soon as we bust the corner, did we not see her blue Dodge? And he's calling me at the same time that I see the car. And I'm like, what's up? And he was like, I think she's following you. You might want to hurry up and hop on the expressway. Baby, when I tell you I'm making a left, a right, a left, a right, a right, another left, and the right, going through these neighborhoods. Luckily, I was kind of familiar with the neighborhood. It was over by 285 in Decatur. Shout out to Decatur, where it's greater. And I kind of knew where I was. Baby, I'm booking it through this neighborhood so I could lose homegirl. Oh, girl is like, she was like trailing us, and we had to lose her. So I'm making all these unnecessary turns, baby. I'm making U-turns in the middle of this neighborhood, doing a whole bunch of stuff you shouldn't be doing. That's why this video is not for kids. Trying to get away from this girl, and she is on my tail. Like, she must have thought that we was really like with him like that, because she was on my tail. So the whole time dude is calling me, he's like, yo, I'm so sorry, she's following you, and as she's following you, she keep blowing me up. Because I would be on the phone with him and I would hear his phone beep, and he like, man, it's her again, just try to lose her. He's like, I'm only answering the phone for her because I'm trying to make sure that she's not still behind you. So, and I believed him, because after everything was said and done, he ended up staying on the phone with me until I got home, and just being profusely apologetic and just like, I'm so sorry, this and the other. So the next day comes around, and I believe that was Saturday, so it's Sunday. So they had like this day party or whatever. This is back in the beginning of when Atlanta started really having day parties. That wasn't really a thing. So when they would have one, it would really be popping off. So they had this day party. I believe it was at this restaurant in Midtown. I want to say it was called Shout, and I don't think that's there anymore. Anyway, people got dressed up nice, like in their, not after 5 attire, but like cute and sexy day attire. So like rompers, cute little short shorts, heels, you know, kind of like springy type stuff. All right, so me and my homegirl fall through this party because, again, we get free entrance, free food. We was in our 20s, and we was a little bit on the brokey side. I'm not ashamed to say that. So if it was free food and a free good time and some free drinks mixed in, we were in it. So, and this was also sponsored by the promo company that we work for. So we're at this brunch and we're having a good time. And who do I run into but Carlos? And he was like, oh, hey, I didn't know you would be here. And I said, why? Are you here with your baby mama? And he just kind of looks at me with this straight face. And I was like, bro, I'm just playing. Like, I don't even care. Like, the only thing I care about is that you put me in a situation and you didn't let me know that you were still dealing with her. And he's like, well, I'm not dealing with her, really. Like, I've been trying to, like, distance myself, this and the other. And I said, you could have just told me that and I wouldn't have been mad. I said, I'm not the type of chick that's out here looking for a serious relationship with you. I said, we could have just gotten to know each other and been friends. I said, but because you put me in a situation and you were dishonest, like, I don't feel safe coming to your house no more. I don't feel safe being around you because I don't want to get my window busted or my tire slashed because you didn't tell the truth. So once again, he was very apologetic. We ended up hanging out for the rest of the day. I think we still talked for a little bit, but I never ever went back to his house. I never let him come to mine. We would just meet out for dates here and there, or go to dinner or at an event. But y'all, I just was so scared because I thought to myself, people in relationships are crazy. Plus, I don't really know, was the girl crazy or was he feeding her some foolishness? You never really know on both sides. He could have been telling her anything. She could have been believing it. And then she could have been in a crazy situation just like I was. But the thing was, the lighter, the match for everything was him. You know, we were the gasoline and he blew up the spot, basically. He was the one that made everything worse because obviously he wasn't honest with me, and I'm just going to say 9 times out of 10, he wasn't honest with her either. And I'm not a fighter. I'm never going to be out here fighting over a dude. I didn't even fight over my own ex-husband. I once had someone call me and tell me that they were dealing with my ex-husband, and my answer was, you can have him. So I'm not a fighter. I'm not someone that's ever going to fight over a man. I think that's stupid. Because 9 times out of 10, the 2 women are fighting over the men, and the man is sitting back laughing and taking pride, like, hey, yeah, I got both of them. And I never want to be that chick. I feel like if we got to do all that, then you're not really worth it. You're not really worth it. That means somebody's lying. So, just to let y'all know, anytime you are in a situation, this is my little lesson of the day. Anytime you are in a dating situation, and that person's quote unquote ex baby mama, ex wife, ex girl, ex jump off, ex whatever, ex whatever y'all call it these days. If they start calling you or they confront you, please believe that the person y'all are dealing with is not being honest. They're not being straightforward. Somebody is either holding back information or just telling a whole bold-faced lie, which to me is pretty much the same thing. So just do your due diligence, do your Googles, check their social media, see who's on their social media. See, back then we couldn't do all that, so people got away with things a whole lot easier. Back then we didn't have the reverse phone lookup. We didn't have the social media like that. I think we had MySpace. I don't even think Facebook was a thing yet. So yeah, so you couldn't go on people's social media and do Googles and really find out what was what. That took a whole like FBI team. Nowadays you can look stuff up. So please do your due diligence, or have your homegirl do it if she's an FBI agent. Wink wink. And make sure you know what you're dealing with. And if you have a question or a doubt, don't assume. Ask the person straight out. If what you are asking them makes them uncomfortable, 9 times out of 10, they're not for you anyway. But anyway, I hope y'all had a fun time listening to my little story time about how I found out that I was the side chick. And yeah, I had to kind of go on a little bit of a high-speed chase. No? Yeah? Maybe? Yeah. I don't want to incriminate myself. It wasn't high speed. Okay, I might have been speeding a little bit, but it wasn't that. It wasn't like the cops after OJ. It wasn't that. Anyway, y'all. Happy Thursday. I hope that you enjoyed my little story. I'm going to have some more coming. I don't mind sharing my life experiences in the hopes that it'll help somebody else learn something and avoid the mistakes that I made. I hope that y'all have an amazing Thursday on purpose. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. My name is Jen. Peace and blessings.